All right, welcome to IWAR Network Live. I'm your host, Alex G. And with me this evening, we have Matt Riley and Scott Franklin. What's going on tonight, guys?
Everything.
Everything.
It's all happening.
Nothing.
After last night's huge show. How can we follow it up?
I don't know. Queefs,
After
maybe?
a debacle of a cycle for me, I just want to ask everyone to please remind me not to fall in love with one hold. I went all 62. I was like, there's no way 62 doesn't go. 62 went to 41.
I also did 62 and cost me
Oh,
quite a
my
bit.
strats blue.
So we have 7 guys on the stream. So, guys, if you're watching the stream, please say hello in the chat box. I wanted to see who's here. I see Darren's here. So what's going on, Darren? How you doing? Also, there's about a 2-minute delay, I think, on this. I've been trying to work it down these delays. Hate Clown's in the house. That's good to see.
There you go.
Yeah. I think if I look at my main screen instead of the actual YouTube screen, I'm working with 2 monitors here, guys. So,
Mr. Fancy Pants.
well, I have 4 monitors, but I don't use the other 2. My wife, her job was throwing away like their old monitors, and they're Acer monitors, like they're really nice, and I just bring them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
So we have Darren, we have Leon. What's going on tonight, gentlemen?
Gold was not nice.
Yeah, I agree. Gold was not nice.
It was a hard cycle. My only bright spot was that Atari advanced. Otherwise, I just had a shitty. It was again, and there's a good lesson for everybody. Don't fall in love with one hold. They're dirty.
You know who should be doing these workshops? Bulk Brogan should be doing these workshops. How many league titles is that for him this year so far?
4
Jesus.
this year. 5 is the record.
Where is he? Where is he in the rest of the year standings?
Oh, he's number 1.
By a mile, right? Like he can go inactive for the next couple of cycles and probably still take it.
There are a few cycles left in the year, so it's still time to make it competitive. But honestly, he's pretty much got it wrapped up unless somebody else goes completely on fire. Of course, my file's not opening quickly. That's great. But it brings up a good point. We announced that Larry and I are suspending the Gold Strategy Workshop. And we're going to give that a break for a while. Mostly because every time we're almost repeating the exact same thing every time. There's a couple of
you guys should
here
just
and
move it
there.
to OnlyFans. So
that's right. Yeah, so
H&R Revolt is present. That's
nice.
Good to see. What's going on,
Hello,
guys?
Adam. But I think the basics of it are kind of consolidated. I'm looking at doing a one-off show with Michael Cook for multi-man strategy advice. And that would just be like, a 1-episode type thing. But, we just were like, should we keep doing the same show almost every time? And honestly, some of the stuff we were doing was working. So he was kind of like, do you want to teach everybody this? So I was like,
Rain in 70s here. Okay. Dig that.
69 degrees and clear skies here, baby, in Boston.
Yeah. It was raining here before. I don't know what the fuck's that. I get nervous because anytime it rains, my internet goes to shit for whatever reason. I gotta stop swearing already. We will get demonetized again.
Dude!
Sorry. It's hard.
Go through and edit it.
Cook is a multi-god. Yes, that's from what I understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, that's the news for the Gold Strategy Workshop on hiatus. That's how it is. Yeah, so lots of results to talk about. Lots of fun stuff that way.
So what do you want to do first? You want to do NWL? You want to go through their results?
Yeah, I can do that.
What does SOS stands for?
Bloody hell. Something of sacrilege or super old sons of bitches.
I didn't really care that much.
I
Darren
used to
suggests
know.
that you grab Jeff Manning too. He taught him how to do 6-man and tags. So keep that in mind.
All right, well, good to know. Anyways, I know this. There it is, Society of Salvation.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what else that means. I will say this. I only learned a couple days ago, half the CTE was cutting throats, something.
We
or other.
probably should like write those all down?
I had an idea when we talked about like doing more shows or shorter shows or like throwback shows. One idea I had was to do a show about the story behind some of the scrubs in our leagues, like naming conventions.
Yeah.
At least in the BRL, like probably like 20 of the scrubs have a story behind their names. Like they weren't just like left behind wrestlers. I could do that if we wanted to like kill time sometime. So NWL, let me get to it here. What's going on? So Profit. Now Profit hit 501.
Son of a bitch, huh?
And I take partial credit. And here's why. Moments before Gold was released, I sent Mike a message, and I was like, we're talking about something, and then like at the end, I was like, well, I hope you hit 501 today. And then, wouldn't you know it, boom, there it was. So 501 for Profit, League Champ. Let me get. I want to do something else too while I'm doing this. I'm going to talk about some of the scores, if my computer will behave.
Your computer is a potato. It's literally a potato.
It's a potato with some wire on it. And
please buy a new one.
I will, and when I buy a new one, you know what I'll do?
You're gonna use our Amazon affiliate link?
I sure will. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, guys, we have our Amazon affiliate link. Now, if you're doing your normal shopping on Amazon and buying the Love Glove or whatever, use our affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything, so there's nothing extra that you pay. You just do your normal shopping, and we get a referral bonus, so we get a percentage of that sale. So it helps keeps the light on and helps me get new and fancier equipment to do these shows. So that would help, so I don't lose money every month by being on YouTube, because right now I lose money. It's not a profitable endeavor.
One of these days.
Well, maybe. Also, we do have the super chat functions there. So if you want to donate a buck or two or $100, Darren, I'm looking at you for $100. By all means, go right ahead and do that.
All right. Well, all right. So that was Profit with the League Championship, his first NWL title. We have TV champion Warpath Wolf Keenan, who pulled a 499. Central Plains champion Mike Dynasty, who pulled a 498. Stevie Vertigo, East Coast champion. Great Lakes champion Country Hammer Rick Grady. Mid-Atlantic champion Playboy Mick Ferrari. Now, just to give you a quick little snapshot, a lot of these champions and the regional champions are like such a snapshot of like some of the more talented writers we have here, so it's awesome to like see these guys win. Northeast champion.
Yes, I'll take Canadian currency. Yes, I'll take pesos, food stamps. Doesn't matter what it is, I'll take it.
Everything.
I can get you food stamps.
Oh,
nice.
I heard there's a card now. Is this true? Is it not actual fucking paper money anymore? Jesus Christ.
It is.
No.
Okay.
It is a card.
It is a card. I work with them every day. I see them.
Listen, I got a tip one time. I was doing a carry out on a refrigerator, and someone who literally came from our local water park, which is called Splish Splash, by the way. They literally gave me like a $1 wet food stamp. Like, here you go, as a tip.
Wow, that's
still usable.
That this week on a very special Tubecast. So the Northeast champion Fighter X. Let's see, Pacific Northwest champion Requiem. We have Rocky Mountains champion No Limits Nick Dane. Southeast champion El Moscado. Southwest champion Tomax Firefly, who, by the way, also hit 501.
Oh, a lot of 501s at NWL, huh?
I will say this. The current theory is Profit may be perfect point flow.
Really?
I don't know if we talked about
Son
it.
of a bitch.
He sent me what he thought it was. It could be. That would be another NWL champion, which would be amazing. I'd love to see. I always tell the guys that I'd love to see NWL wrestlers make the report because it makes people lose their mind. Lionheart, Lachlan Kincaid. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. West Coast champion. Our tag champions were No Limits Nick Dane and Warpath Wolf Keenan. TV tag team champions, the Playboy Mick Ferrari and Sam Hain. League 6-man champions. That's right. A mashup here. And what's funny, I actually noticed that No Limits Nick Dane, like the Honor Revolt trio, right? All right, so it's Nick Dane, Wolf Keenan, and Lachlan Kincaid. Score-wise, they had the exact same score as the champs, which was Nick Dane, Veruca Salt, and Fabulous Harry Hurt. And I don't know why one went over the other. I was just curious because you went from like, hey, my trio won to what the hell? Who the hell is Harry Hurt? Sorry, folks. Whoever runs Tomax Firefly, El Mascardo, and Machine, I hope you will message me.
Like Tomax and Zaymont from G.I. Joe?
Goddamn right.
Dope.
And our Battle Royal winner was Stevie Vertigo. Go. A couple of notes about the league. We had 207 cards. We had 51 Battle Royal entrants. We got 9 new wrestlers, 1 left, and 7 were removed after matches. I don't know who they were. I've petitioned them to let me know who the names are, but whatever. But one thing I'm looking into, because this is specific to the NWL, as you guys know who've been around for a while, when they rank the leagues by activity, NWL is usually first because it's just swamped with activity. And that's fine. But when it comes to the scoring for these strategies, I want to know if like those 9 new wrestlers have all like 365s, 355, like they're like just generic strategies.
Right.
So I want to know if the IWAR counts those against us because our average score is like 460 and like 470. It's always terrible.
Right.
What I want to do is say, hey, will you please not include the new wrestlers because that's not fair.
I wouldn't include NWL at all in that top 10 ranking, by the way.
Listen.
I wouldn't. It's not fair.
I know, it's true. But when they do hit, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
It really, honestly, it's like it's a powerhouse, and it's funny because the only thing I think about is it's very rare when an NWL wrestler wins like a Metro or an Elite. But
how many world titles did we get out of there?
1. That was Rowdy Rustagini.
Yes.
And that was an amazing time. The Chameleon had that run where he
didn't deserve it.
Like, yeah. So I just want to talk about a little stats a bit. I'm going to look into that. You might notice I set the scores out that Veruca Salt was there twice. That was an IWAR clerical error. They spelt one Veruca Salt S-A-L-T and then S-A-U-L-T. So they've combined them. There's supposed to be one wrestler. When the process of sending matches in, the person who did it thought it was a new wrestler instead of like someone different. So it happens. Tag team high score was 512. 6-man high score was 517. For the TV 6-man champs, just a weird cycle. They also missed playing the matches for the industry for tag matches, so I didn't get the score from them. I'll talk about that when I talk about the Derby and other results. So that's cool. NWL wise, that's kind of the results. I will say this rankings page. Those of you in the top 5, be sure to challenge for your league championship. When you're sending your matches in, put like your wrestler. Let's say if it was Lance Horowitz, number 97 versus 501 parentheses number 2 contender. And that way knows to send your match in there and count it. Because I always hate when guys were like, "Oh, I didn't know." Like, dude, I'm doing what I can.
That's how it works.
If you're ranked 6 through 10, challenge for the TV titles. You have to pay $1 for it. You have to pay for that match. And if you're ranked anywhere else, challenge every regional champion. Just challenge them all. So that's the NWL title scene. I know we're going to do the trash talk next time through.
We are.
But we'll talk about some of the other events as well. Do you want to do IWL now?
Sure.
Do you have any questions from the crowd about NWL stuff? No? That's all right. Well, we'll get back to it.
Bueller.
I dig that.
I should get that on a T-shirt, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess
we are working on it.
So the biggest things coming out of the IWL is we have our league champion Bulk Brogan and whatever super high score he got. This again, like we mentioned before, it's his 4th league championship of this year. Right underneath him, we have Joe Boring, the current reigning and defending IWAR world champion as our television champion. The New York City champion Firebird John Satterfield, who is currently the number 1 contender for the IWL World Heavyweight Championship. Los Angeles champion, we have, how do you pronounce that? Monkey, the Mongolian
Monkey.
baller. No, it's a G in there.
Maybe he's silent.
There's a G in there. Hey Frank, what's going on, man? Boston champion, Johnny WrestleFest. We have our Detroit champion, Honestly Brutal Abe, who advanced to the finals of the what tournament are we doing this thing? Oh, the King of Pro Wrestling. So, I have short-term memory problems. Cleveland champion, Donathan Annihilation. Dallas champion, Magnificent Marvin Moyer. Memphis champion, the Lunatic, Matthew Grabowski. Miami champion, Nick Bloodtrap. San Francisco champion, Late Night Logan Kane, who is the other finalist in the King of Pro Wrestling. Chicago champion, Justin Grace. Got that from the Battle Royals. So, guys, it's always a good thing to enter those Battle Royals because you can scoop in and get a championship that way. Your Elite Tag Team champions, we have the Disembowelers finally showing how good they are because they're fantastic. TV Tag Team champions, Christopher Destruction and Kenneth Oblivion. League 6-man champion, Shocker, German Electric, Rosanna, and Stagger 3. The Mid-Atlantic Wrecking Crew looking like they're going to run away with our stable contest that we're having right now for a stable championship for the Freebird championship. They're way out ahead. TV 6-man champions, we have Christian Warrior, the American Patriot, and the Chameleon, also known as the Omega Squadron, and our Battle Royal winner winning 54 free IWL matches. We have Justin Grace. One thing I do want to tell you guys that my TT for this cycle was left out of the bulletin, and it was 11 pages long, and I'm not a happy camper about that. It's very deflating. I don't know if you had this happen to you. It's something that really kind of deflates you from what you're doing. You're trying to pull everything in a certain direction, and so something like this happens. Would it be doubling a hold or not getting your TT? It could literally mess with your head. It can be very deflating. My advice, and when these things happen to you, is like you have to just work right through it. You just have to put it out of your mind and plow through it. And you kind of just got to get over it. Now, the IWA, I contacted Kim. She said she's going to put it in the online bulletin. That was 2 days ago, and it's still not there. So if you guys are on the Facebook page, it'll be, yes, I make mistakes professionally. Yes, Darren. You and me both, buddy. If you're on the Facebook page, it's on there if you want to read it. It's really cool too. I thought it was something. It was the best risky business sneak attacks that I think I've ever done. So take a look at that when you guys get a chance. In terms of results, again we have Honestly Brutal Abe and Late Night Logan Kane. They're going to be our finalists for the King of Pro Wrestling, and then we have the Amazing Grace and the Omega Squadron. They're in the finals of the MSG Tag League. So those are two really fantastic matches. Like I mentioned before, the Stable Championship, we have the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Crew with 32 points, and that's going to be even more by the time the other results get put in here. They're leading away for the Stable Championship. But I think overall, a very solid cycle for the IWL. How many matches did we have this cycle? Let's take a look.
You had 133 cards.
I'm happy. Anytime we hit over 100 cards, which it's pretty standard at this point, I'm pretty happy with anything over 100 cards. I'll take it.
54 Battle Royal entrants, and you had 0 transfers in, 0 out, 0 new wrestlers, 0 removed. So everyone stayed as is. I will say some of the scores to talk about. Donathan Annihilation, the Cleveland champion, at 501. Lunatic Matthew Grabowski, have Memphis champion at 500.
Jeez,
as
please.
did Bulk Brogan. Bulk Brogan, by the way, I think his championships have all been like 499 or higher. Like he doesn't when he destroys when he wins championships.
Yeah. Good old Luther had a 494 this cycle. Good for him. Good for him.
I will say this: the Disembowelers had a non-perfect point flow of 516.
Okay.
So that's nice. That's a report mentioned, but not any goal.
What's the total? What's the highest score you get for a 6-man?
521.
521.
And the Shocker, Jimmy Electric, Rosanna Stagger 3 had a 517.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I will say this: if you didn't know this, the TV 6-man champions which were Omega Squadron, had a 516, as did Luther Alexander, Carlos Danger, and Ricky Spanish.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that happens. I don't know how they determine. That's a question for the crowd. Maybe somebody will know why. Like, you know, when two teams tie, I just noticed Axel von Schnapp and Ricky Spanish were teamed up. The hell?
Yeah, I don't know. They've been messing up all through the MSG Tag League. They've been swapping out partners. Like one time it was one insider with like Chameleon or some shit. Like it's completely. And I don't even use the numbers. I go straight names because I don't want to mess it up, and they still mess it up. So I had to go back and look at the scores to get the results because they've been messing up. You know who are in these tag team matches, which is annoying.
I'll mention a quick little tip for the players out there. If you got the scores I sent out, you'll notice one of the scores was the tag team score of 380 points for Masked Bandit 2 and Larry Herowitz. Now, you might say, why were those guys active? Now, one of the old tactics to get on the title page is to sign your tag team up against a scrub tag team. And you might say, well, that's ridiculous. They don't keep records. I'm going to win. Why do that? Well, here's why. If the TV tag champions defeat the league tag champions to become tag champions, they fill the vacated TV tag titles with the highest scoring tag team. So if your tag team is the highest scoring tag team and you beat, you know, two scrubs, obviously you're going to have a better edge on that. If you beat some other team, like, you know, like the match is like a 10-point win, you know, that's fine too. But if you beat scrubs, you win by 150 points, you know, that's a better shot at winning those vacated belts. It's a cheap way to win. But hey, if you're going to spend the buck to do it, cover your match, there it is.
There's nothing cheap in this game. Nothing cheap. You take a win when you get a win. Trust me.
That's right.
But that's all the results I have for the IWL. Guys, we do have our pay-per-view. It's I believe that's next cycle for the King of Pro Wrestling. So, you know, double check those holds, triple check those holds. Make sure you don't double anything. It's going to be a great pay-per-view. Like, there's so much, like so many high-profile matches on this show. It's almost ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, to the point, it's like, it should be 2 nights. Multiple main events.
It's just too much action.
There is too much action. It's ridiculous.
Like AEW's Grand Slam, 2 nights.
So Darren says that IWA messes up more than we do, which is true. Leon said he drew Bulk Bogan back in the NWL. They both had a 499. And Darren says you get some good eye cash when you do multi-man matches also.
There you go.
There it is.
I will say one of the things I wish I did a better job tracking over the years was iCash 1. It's a really good barometer of how well someone does in a league. But I remember, what's his name there? Ghetto Master Jr. and Luther Alexander and Izzy
Crazy.
And like, what's his name? What was the other one? Willie
Survive.
Willie Survive. Those guys had like millions of dollars added to their amounts.
Yeah, I think I walked out of the NWO with like a ridiculous amount of money. Most of it from the UNL, by the way. Speaking of the UNL, Matt, do you want to explain what the UNL is?
You mean UWL?
Yes, UWL. Yes. Did I say that wrong? This is what happens when we're live.
UNL
guys.
is United Nations League. UWL is Unknown Wrestler League.
That's correct.
So yeah, sure. Just for you guys playing out there who are not aware, the UWL is the Unknown Wrestler League, and what you do is you submit a wrestler in there, up to 6, and the IWA will email you back and tell you your wrestler's ID number. Now, what they do is every wrestler in the league is called Mass Wrestler number 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, right? And only you know who you manage, okay? And what happens is every cycle, after the first 2 or 3 cycles, I think, they start.
Darren, Matt's number 69, by the way.
There you go.
Match wrestler 69.
That's right. So what happens is the league champion gets to eliminate one member of the roster. So they can pick somebody and boom, they're out. And they can be doing badly, doing great, doesn't matter. They pick them, they're out. I think the only way to avoid that is if you are not a champion. I'm not sure. But the other cool thing is each cycle, the lowest 5 or 6 wrestlers get dumped out. So what ends up happening is over time, as it gets fewer and fewer and fewer, it gets down to finally the final champion, and the final champion wins a belt, like a real belt. Now, you might say, well, what's the point of doing this if you're not going to have a record and you can't identify yourself? What they do is the wins, the stars, and the iCash you earn in the UWL when you are eliminated, that amount goes to the wrestler you picked for them. So let's say, for example, if I had Mad Dog Dick Jackson in the NWL, and he was also in the UWL as number like 2. Well, if somebody picked number 2 to get, actually I think number 11 got eliminated this month. I looked at the page again, but if they picked his number and he got kicked out, his wins, money, and stars all get transferred over to Dick Jackson and NWL. Why is that important? Well, if you're ranked 11th and all of a sudden you have an influx of 200 wins and now your record gets you up to 4th, you went from having no TV title shot or league title shot to getting a league title shot. So it's a way to pad your record. And it's the only way you can do it, really, besides some of the special events. Like I know the Johnny B Cup, the winner gets to delete some losses. That's like a prize we give out just for that one time a year. But it's a fun little side contest, and you basically invest. You invest in building your wrestler's record up. And, where I let Sam, seem silly, like Scott, Dixon Taekwondo is 11th right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if Dixon had an extra, let's say, I have to look at the records, but I'm going to say if he had like an extra 100 wins, maybe he ekes out that 10th spot, and now he's 10th and gets a TV title shot. And that's huge. In the BRL, I've had Adam Cash there forever. He's in the top 10, which is really hard with all those huge records. But constantly, trying to I do the match deal every month there. So, if I wanted to put him in the UWL and just like load up on wins. And what's funny, I noticed in the UWL, because the first few cycles, there are some guys that just pour like a shit ton of money into it. And what they do is they push their record up so much that they're going to be a top 10 wrestler. They're going to get title shots. And again, the bigger the titles you win, the more money you win. So it's a way to pad your record. And people like it, and it's fun to always kind of find out who is in the league with you. I feel like, I just told the guys before the pre-show, like I feel like Tim Clark and Joe Clark get eliminated every cycle. And Rob Ratliff too.
Was there a limit of how many guys you could put in there?
6. I believe it's 6.
Okay.
But
American Patriot got
I remember one year.
I think I think I was a runner-up one year, if I remember right.
Ooh.
Me.
You really?
Yeah, because I did it I think the first my first or second year I did it, and I did really well in it, and then I never did it ever again.
Yeah, it's definitely a chore. I've actually forgot to. I lost most of my wrestlers because I forgot to send my matches in. Because honestly, it was like Tuesday night, and I'm pouring.
Do they still rotate? They rotate the feds, or is it just in one fed?
I think so. Because I thought it was iron last time, and this time it's steel. Okay. No, I'm sorry. Last time it was steel, and this time it's diamond. But anyways, it's just it's one of those things that I'll probably never do it again. But it's fun to try, and that's
you want to be strategic. Like you want to use the right wrestler for the right purpose of getting into your top 10 or your top 5. Right. If you want to get a lot of wins real quickly, and just kind of pad that out, you get your stars, you get your wins. It's good for that purpose, especially if you're a newer wrestler. Maybe you're in the NWL. You want to get a lot more wins very, very quickly. That's a good way to go because you're essentially doubling it up, and who knows, you can go all the way and take a prize.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things that some players who want to really boost their wins up do it, and it's a good way to do it. It really is. If you do the $12 match deal, you get those 20 free scrub wins. You can do that, and some guys will do 2 or 3 match deals and spread those 20 wins to the different wrestlers.
Yeah.
But if like I'm looking at the page right now, so here it is, league champion, mass wrestler number 15. He eliminated number 49. So I didn't look. I'll look at it right now. If I just shoot down to the eliminations. 49 was Graveyard Dog. That's managed by Rob Ratliff. Oh, Rob. That's a good name, too. Graveyard Dog.
I like that.
Like if someone buried Junkyard Dog and like Undertaker was like, "You will not rest in peace." Bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay, and like, oh my God, he's alive. Because every dog needs a bone to chew on. I'm okay. Why do you ask? So, anyways, that 6 wrestlers each cycle, the bottom 5 rank, and if I look up here on the rankings page and scroll down to the bottom 5 active wrestlers, those guys were like all the records pretty much left are winning records, and I mean there's like 69-7-1. There's a lot of the biggest record right now in the league is number 2, 412 wins. So whoever owns that wrestler, when that wrestler gets eliminated from this league, 412 wins to their record. Yeah. And that is huge when you're trying to get a title shot. Yeah. Massive.
And that's all wins too, because again, don't forget that rankings are done by wins, wins over losses. So that's just all wins.
Yep. And it's again, we don't work for the IWA, but it's one of the games that we endorse. It's fun, a good way to boost your record up, and especially, I would say this, especially if you're a guy who runs like one wrestler, you want to do this because if you only have one wrestler and one record, you want to get the best title shot you can. Like look at Mike Sebastian. I'm convinced he's got a wrestler in here because he does like everything he can to add to his record. And he's in like the top 10, I think, for wins and for money, or he's on that list somewhere. But it's just, it's a way to add your record. So that is the UWL.
You need to get that checked out, dude. Go ahead, Scott.
I said Dixon at number 11 is a lot closer to 10 than you would think. He is tied with American Patriot.
Oh, a good old American Patriot.
Ooh. So there it is. So and I don't know if Dixon's in the UWL.
He is not.
I told you I lost almost.
He will. He will be at some point.
Yeah, it's again
breaking news.
Pad that record. Get them wins.
You know what I would do? I would go in there and unmask immediately, and like I'm wrestler number 5 and not be wrestler number 5.
Oh yeah. There's guys at promo, and it's like obviously trying to just like get somebody else tossed out, but
right. What we got next? We got the BRL. What do you got for us in the BRL?
All right, let me see. The Battle Royal League, and let me get these results ready here. We had a fun cycle in the BRL this round. At least everybody but me did. So, are you ready for this? League championship goes to Flashy Jack Ferdinand. That is his first BRL championship, and he had a 501. TV champion, Ghostly Shadows, and Ghostly Shadows had a 498. I am a big mark for Ghostly Shadows, and if you have never listened to the band Ghost, look them up. I actually saw them in concert in Connecticut. They were awesome. I got into them because of Ghostly Shadows.
What's going on, Jeff? How you doing?
Mr. Grady is here. Or I should say Mr. Rhett Grady. Welcome. Let's see here. Central Plains champion, Mannequin number 1. East Coast champion, Mannequin number 2. And they both had, you guessed it, 501. And you can't see I just put my hand like DMD. Great Lakes champion, Randy the Ram. Then we had Middle Edge champion, Wildfire Betty Red.
Oh.
Northeast champion, Thrash. Pacific Northwest champion, Silver Fox. Rocky Mountain champion, Alligator. She had a 500.
Really?
So did Silver Fox.
Son of a bitch.
I know, right? And Catfish Chucky was our Southeast champion. Southwest champion was Kevin Tude. And West Coast champion was Bernard Borchard, who, let me see if I can scroll down. Catfish Chucky won the Battle Royal and $50. I mentioned that earlier. League Tag Team Champions retaining the White Claw Outlaws, Derek and Mike, with a 516, but this time it wasn't perfect, so they won the IWA Tag Belts last cycle. Did not this cycle. But they retained. And there were actually a number of 516s by the tag teams. The TV tag champions were Winnipeg Wookie and Catfish Leroy. And in case you're wondering, yes, they had a 516 too. Right now, there's a thing going on, a kind of side note, on the IWAR homepage about voting. And it's asking if players want to have a vote, or the vote is about determining if they want to have tiebreakers essentially in league. So right now, when it gets to like Gold Federation champion, right, they figure out the Gold Federation champion by perfect point flow. If both guys have 501, they go down the list and figure it out. This would make it so that in league, they would do this for every belt. So right now, where we have 4 teams with 516, the Carnival Profits, the White Claw Outlaws, East-West Connection, Winnipeg Wookie, and Catfish Leroy, all with 516s. The team with the perfect point flow would advance or would have the belts. Right now, because they had a 516, they can't be beaten. Personally, I'm voting to not have it happen. It just seems more like another step. Be like, oh, I'm tired of getting blocked. Well, if you guys who have big rosters hate being blocked, think how we feel when you pull a 501 and get zippity-doo-dah. So I have no sympathy for those guys. You guys get all the titles anyways, so not my problem. The 6-man champions, winning 5 free matches, the Saskatchewan Sasquatch, the Zombie Hunter Matthew Porter, and Chief Bo Gray Fox. They retained those belts. And then, of course, the Dynasty reps with Flashy Jack Ferdinand, Mannequin 1, Mannequin 2, pulled the 6-man championship for TV. And that score, 520 for the league champs and 518 for Mannequin 1, Mannequin 2, and Flashy Jack Ferdinand. Should also note that Love Connection, Chubby Love, Massive Love, and Love Burger also had a 518. So, again, not quite sure how that came about, but we had 155 cards, 81 Battle Royal entrants.
Golly.
9 transfers out. Bye. I guess Larry and I had a little joke. If you read the BR report, you'll see we do a joke ad every cycle. And we try to make it kind of like, our thinking is like, what if there was actual like wrestlers being really used for advertisement? I always think back to when Sprite had Sting beat up the kid in the commercial.
That was great.
Yeah, it was a great commercial, and they had Kane do the Chef Boyardee. Remember those?
Mankind had it too.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he did first.
Oh well, my point being that I think there's missed opportunities. So we do an ad every cycle as a gag. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek, like a rib, if you will. Not quite a Mr. Perfect rib, but making a joke. And this time it was the Mayflower Movers, because we were like, when I first heard Dynasty was leaving, I'm like, I think I lost 12 guys out of the league. Oh crap! But we didn't, because Flashy Jack stayed.
I do joke ads too, but they're usually inappropriate.
Yes. So that is our scoring from the BRL. I will add some other news BRL-wise. This was a cycle where we had the main event, and we've done a new thing now where we changed our process, and this is the first of them. The main event is a pay-per-view that determines the challengers for the next pay-per-view coming up, which is Battlecade. So our matches came down as such. In the cruiserweight, Flashy Jack Ferdinand's 501 easily gave him the win over Brom O'Baron, Jax McAllister, and Sheldon Shroot. In the 6-man, we had a tie with Free Quebec hitting 517 and the Olympians hitting 517. Quick Kill Incorporated and Litigators hit 516s and Leather Brigade hit 512. So we decided to move both Free Quebec and the Olympians into the championship match at Battlecade. It'll be a triple threat 6-man match.
They don't deserve it.
There it is. Please tell us how you feel. The tag team derby matchup here was won by the East-West Connection. That's Jane Red and Matthew Van Slaughter, former champions, by the way. Then we had the Tower of Terror, which before that, actually, there was a steel cage match between Mechanico and the Hawaiian Heartthrob, with the winner of which getting to enter that match. Mechanico had a 492 to 491 victory, but then shocked the fans when he tore up the contract and burned it just to smite Hawaiian Heartthrob and did not enter the match. Therefore, entering the match and winning the shot at Joey Saltambuca's North American Championship is Double R Rob Ratliff.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, so he wins that shot. The women's match, I don't want to give it away too fast here, but because of the IWAR Women's Championship match, there were two people in that match. In the title match, they were also in this match. It turns out that because of that result, that the second place finisher, Barbed Wire, will go on to advance, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So Barbed Wire will challenge Gina Colada at Battlecade. And then the Elimination Chamber was won by Sabretooth, who had a 496. He beat out Lee T. Gation, who had a 495. So Sabretooth will go on to Battlecade to challenge Punk Rock Mike, barring a departure, because in his promo this month he hinted at leaving. I got to reach out to Greg and see what that's about. So that was main event pay-per-view. Do you want to cover anything special before we go into IWAR events, or
no?
Fantastic. Quick side note while we get ready for the next segment. I have been encouraging players in NWO locker room to crank out their promos within 72 hours or within the week that the results post. I have been experimenting with writing my promos as soon as possible, and I find they are much, much better. I don't know if it's just a matter of striking while the iron is hot, creatively, if you will.
Matt stealing my ideas again.
Dude, just saying. It's a way.
It's when you're the most excited. So
yeah.
Usually that Tuesday or even Wednesday, you're usually the most excited about the game. If you're doing it Sunday night, you're probably like, I don't really want to do this. I just have to get it done, and you don't get the most out of it. So what I usually do is I start that Tuesday, and for the most part, I'm done by that Friday if I have time.
Right. So I've been trying it, and I've got all of my BRL except for Turner's promo done, and I started that one. And just they're way, way more fun. Yes, and I will note in the comments, Love Glove, Monster Truck Tanaka now uses the Love Glove as his finishing weapon.
Yes.
So, no word about the bidet. But events in the IWAR. Well, we'll talk about the draft in a second, but before we get to that, the Best of the Best series, which is number 3 now, and the winner of this event will go on to challenge the IWAR World Champion. So in one bracket, it was Sabretooth taking on Seth Adams Lee. Sabretooth advanced with a 496 over a 492. And in the finals, he'll be facing the winner of the Steel Cutouts, the Dream of Atari match, and that was Atari 494 to 472 because Larry doubled the hold.
Ha
That's not nice. But lucky for me, because 494 might have won. So I'll take it. So Sabretooth versus Atari in the finals with a title shot going to the winner. The IWAR championship matches went down as such. Bulk Brogan defeated Author of Agony, LePage Turner, and the Dream Ali Atari in a triple threat match to retain the Revolution Championship. The White Claw Outlaws defeated Flashy Jack Ferdinand and Alexander J. Styles, the winners of the Lethal Lottery.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
In a big match, in a big spot, life on the line, you going with Bulk Brogan or do you go Joe Boring?
Oh, Joe Boring.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's been doing it for years. It's Brad. Brad's as close to the sure thing as you can get. He's dangerous. So, White Claw Outlaws, I will mention this. I was talking to Kevin about this earlier. He runs Flash Jack. And he was like, hey, so when's the title match? And I was like, yeah, about that. So he didn't flow with Alexander J. Styles. So to be fair, I said to him, I said, well, you might think to yourself, you kind of lucked out because if you had known that you wanted to flow with Flashy Jack and Alexander J. Styles, you wouldn't have hit 501. At least not likely, you know?
Right.
So it's just, you know, it's really hard. When you're flowing a tag team, especially, sorry, it is difficult because, you know, you're going to sacrifice some holds to, like, try to score maximum points. So anyways, the White Claws retained. Wildfire Betty Red defeated Barbed Wire to become the new champion for the Women's IWAR Championship. And Joe Boring defeated Alexander J. Styles to retain the title. And I will say that a little bit of a change here is I mentioned this, I think, on the last show we talked about this, or I think the last show we talked about this. But if you're listening and you're like, hey, I really liked the Lethal Lottery, well, have I got news for you. As a result of Stanley Hardaway, Yoko Tuna, and Changvi leaving the BRL and the IWAR, we have vacated the IWAR six-man championship.
Where are they going?
So
Do you know?
they went to GWL, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so anyways, Devil's Triangle is going to be an event like the Lethal Lottery. There are 24 spots available. When I first announced it, I said first come, first serve. I'm not going to do that. What we're going to do is everyone who wants to enter can enter one wrestler only. And what will happen is when we do the drawing for the teams live, as they're like a Zoom recording, Scott will pull the names as it happens. And the first 24 to get pulled are the 24 in the event. It's fair. It would make the Joker happy. So the winner of the Devil's Triangle event, that six-man tournament.
Someone will find it not fair.
Of course. And what will we say to that? I don't
Screw
care.
you.
Fuck those guys.
What would Marlena do? That's a joke purely for Scott. The winner of the Devil's Triangle will be the new IWAR World Six-Man Champions. So it's going to be fun is that a bizarre random trio will win the championship. That's kind of cool. And, you know, it's a way to get in the title scene. So if you're interested in this, contact me ASAP because we're going to start this in November. So get on board.
Or me.
What's that?
I said, or me.
Or, yeah. Or Scott. Yeah, let us know. Other events going on. The Best of the Best series, Best of 7 series, sorry. Number 8. Flashy Jack Ferdinand versus Fiction. Fiction representing the IWL, Jack representing the BRL. It is now 2 matches to none for Flashy Jack, who is just on fire as his face was and why he's wearing a mask. So Flashy Jack really, really on a run here. You know, we should make something fun with that too. Like the winner gets to have something special. I don't know. We'll work on that. Speaking of tournaments and events, so the fall events, a little update for you guys. Bound for Glory.
Hey, Jeremy, what's going on, man?
There he is. The chameleon.
Ooh.
Boo. Omega Squadron. Boo.
Wrong Jeremy, jackass.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that's the Jeremy I like. Yay. Actually, I just sent him an email earlier about it is a little promo I did for Tanaka, so I sent him a message about that. I enjoyed good fun stuff. Let's see here. So, getting back to it. Oops, I just opened this too much. There we go. Bound for Glory 9. So the cutoff score for this cycle was 493. So if you had a 493 or better, you advanced. And another batch of guys got eliminated, but still, you know, good competition. I'll read the names real quickly. Jack Ferdinand, Mannequin 1 and 2, Wolf Keenan, Stevie Vertigo, Brahmo Baron, Donnie Bloodstone, Rob Ratliff, Ghostly Shadows, Mike Dynasty, Late Night Logan Kane, Brian Rotten, John Satterfeld, Nick Dane, Zydrate, the Dream Elite Atari, and Ares, all advanced. So these guys are all in round 3. And remember, the way this works is each round, the top score overall wins the credit for that round. So we took the pool, divided it in 4, and so for example, this time around, Kevin enjoyed $30 of IWA credit all to himself. And once this event is finished, we will send out the payouts, and everyone will get their credit. So, tag team, we're down to 9 teams, and this is why it's important to make sure the IWA plays their matches, because Dave Wazalewski and Rod Camino were going to be eliminated, but then once the IWA fixed the error and gave us a tag score, they actually advanced to 5-10. So the team scoring 5-10 or higher advanced. That's Rod Camino and Dave Wazalewski. Zeus and Hercules, Sam Hain and Playboy McFerrari, the Mannequins, Mike Zenith and Shane Gloom, Matthew Van Slaughter and Jane Red, Catfish Lori, Winnipeg Wookie, Keith Destruction and Chris Oblivion, or is it Keith? Kenneth, not Keith. Kenneth Destruction. And the Disembowelers. So a lot of guys split that top prize this round. So what you can see is that it's good to keep advancing because you keep getting a chance to win more money. If more people score the same score, it's kind of like you're splitting the prize, and it's like, oh, instead of getting $30, I'm getting like $2. Not as exciting, but it's okay. Okay, so top 8 teams advancing in the Triple D 6-man tournament are as follows: 5-13 or higher. The Industry, Nazex, Fiction, and Rico Flash. The Regulators.
Who?
The Regulators.
I never heard of them.
Yeah, those bums. He's the guy who needs to write his promos sooner, because they'll send me a message like at 1 in the morning on Sunday night. Just looking about Everyway stuff now. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, you're killing me. Honor Revolt, Omega Squadron, the Olympians, Flash Jack Ferdinand and the Mannequins, and the top score overall was Sasquatch, Chief Fox, and Matthew Porter. So enjoy that, fellas. I will also say that we're looking for more people. I got a message from a former player who's kind of getting back in the game, and he was like, hey, man, I want to do something creative. What you got going on? So I threw out some ideas. So if you want to have some help out with the reports, contact us and let us know. We're happy to have you help us.
I could always use more help.
Yeah. I'm going to say something about that. No.
It's true.
The IWAR draft is coming up. And it is October 12th. Hopefully the date stays the same. But as you guys can see, sometimes we have to change things up.
Shit happens, man. Real life often gets in the way.
It is very true, man. And it's okay. What's nice is that we can kind of do stuff on the fly now with this new system that Alex so wisely found for us.
Did.
So if you want to look into the current IWAR magazine, you'll see the IWAR draft preview, which includes previews of all the wrestlers who are into the draft. And it's cool because it's going to give you a way to kind of know who's in the draft. They got a draft grade that are kind of tongue-in-cheek / they're
not real.
Yes.
Don't get mad.
The side was like, dude, could I have done to improve my grade? I'm like, dude, it's totally a work. It's a work. There's a storyline going on behind the scenes. I've let about 6 players know about this, that they're going to be involved in it, maybe more. And as this unfolds over the next couple of months, it's going to make the NWL friggin' insane. But I think it's going to make it way better. So the grades you got are probably, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, part of that storyline. It just might not make sense right now, but it will. But also, I would say that in fairness, guys who have had like Akuma hasn't wrestled yet, so I have nothing to go on. Whereas what's his name? U.S. Male has 2 regionals, I think, maybe 2. So we got a C- or C-. So it's okay, they're good writers, but strategically they're not very good. So U.S. Male, step it up, dude. I will say this. One player asked me earlier. He said, "Hey, I wanted to have all my guys go to the same league. What should I do?" So what will happen is when I put together the final list for our pre-work, I'll let everyone know, like, if you draft this guy, you're going to get these guys too, and that's fine. I know, like, one player, Scott Cool, I say it wrong. He is totally open to his guys getting drafted wherever they land, and that's cool. That's fine too. But he has 4 guys in the draft. So we'll do that as we will. But everyone, just know that if you get drafted, you have time to finish out your NWL time. That's allowed. But the contest starts immediately. So, like, October 12th is actually the first cycle of the contest. And the winner of the IWAR draft will challenge Bulk Brogan as one member of the triple threat match.
Son of a bitch.
So there it is. So Bulk Brogan, and if you're out there, Bulk Brogan, I want more Bulk. I'm like, do I got to turn Senior Lucha heel to get more out of Bulk Brogan? Did we talk about the specialty championships last time?
No, we probably should though.
No, that's a good point. Let's.
I mentioned it in my TT that no one saw.
I saw it in my heart. That is the absolute most annoying thing when you send a great promo and it doesn't get posted, because you're like, oh.
Luther kind of dug up Senior Lucha's dead mother.
Yeah,
I would let that go by the censors. I'd be okay with that.
That's ridiculous.
Let me get this here. Okay. So the IWAR did pretty well.
Wear a mask too.
Did.
That would be the best. The dead mother skeleton has masks on it.
Yes.
Mrs. Lucha. Would it be like, remember the time Big Show drug, Boss Man?
It was Boss Man.
Drag the coffin around the graveyard. I always picture, like, one day someone, like, went to go visit a grave and they just saw that and were like, what the hell?
I don't think they closed it off. I think I heard that somewhere. Like, people were, like, legit mortified by that.
It's the best. Well, I will mention, of the specialty championships, there were 313 wrestlers that entered. 44 went home with prize money for the 20 belts. 20 winners. So I'll only read the winners for us because I'm selfish that way. Biker chain champion Zydrate. So from NWL.
What's a biker chain?
I think it's like a Russian chain, just what they call it, the chain.
Yeah, but how did the biker get a chain?
Well, I think a biker chain could be like the chain for the gears, those thinner, sharper chains.
Like a bicycle chain?
Yeah.
A bit larger.
How would you use that as a weapon, though?
Well, what if they do mean a biker chain, like a French Open or a French Tour Le Mans?
I don't know what you're saying.
The Tour de France, like one of those bikes.
Jeff says a biker chain is actually a wallet chain.
If they don't use a chain, they just use the whole bike.
I will beat you.
I don't like
Zydrate, anyways, won the biker chain match. So
I've never seen a biker chain match ever in wrestling. That was the last one in real wrestling when we had a biker chain match.
That's a great point. Because they
come on, IWA, get it together.
They replaced the Buried Alive match with biker chain. And I only say that because I won Buried Alive match once. And it was the same year Atari won a Buried Alive match, so whatever. Brass Knuckles champion, Agent 26. I should mention, too, a Zydrate managed by Tyler Davidson of California. Agent 26 is managed by Tim Polino of Massachusetts. Let me see here. Going down the list, we have...
Luther. By the way, Luther did challenge Logan Kane to a scaffold match at the pay-per-view. Because Darren said scaffold matches should make a comeback, and I agree. Need more scaffold matches.
No.
I like your idea with the ring being elevated, not just
the elevated battle royal. Yeah,
I missed one of the titles. Elimination Chamber. I didn't realize this. Jeremy's on the call here. So, Jeremy, how do you pronounce Monkey the Mongolian Mauler? If you're there, please chime in.
With phonetics, please.
But yeah, how do I feel bad when we pronounce these names and butcher them, but like some names are difficult. D+ in French is A+. Maybe Jeremy's not with us anymore. Jeremy, hello?
He's probably pooping.
It could be. It happens to the best of us. Let me bang out the rest of this stuff here. All right,
Gross.
so here we go. We have our Hangman's Horror champion, Bram O'Baron.
What the hell is that?
Hangman's Horror?
Yeah, what kind of match is that?
I want to say it's a match where like Adam Page is like, oh my god, I'm gonna win the championship, and then his wife gets pregnant and he can't do it, and that's the Hangman's Horror. That sound right?
No.
All right, well, Jeremy Broadwater runs Bram O'Baron and Mongo, the guy I can't pronounce the name of. Hardcore champion Zydre. Hell in a Cell champion Agent 26. Let's see here. Agent 26 also in the Last Man Standing Championship. The No Holds Barred champion. Wait a minute. Did I miss one of the guys here? Oh, it's Johnny Vegas, the highlight of the night from IWL. Good for him.
No Holds Barred champion? Is that the one he won?
Yes.
Is that in the set of the movie No Holds Barred?
I certainly hope it is.
Oh, that'd be
What's
dope.
that smell?
Dookie. It's the greatest film of all time, by the way. It's my top 5 films.
Never, ever have seen that.
Right above The Wizard of Oz and right below Citizen Kane.
How did Hogan not get an Oscar?
He should have. He should have an Oscar, an Emmy, BET award. He should have got them all.
NAACP award.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast about Miami Vice, and I didn't know, but that term they say like the SCOT, whatever it is, it's like if you win like a Tony, an Oscar, an Emmy,
Yeah.
an
EGOT.
Grammy. Michael, God damn his name, Michael, shit, the black cop from Miami Vice.
Wow.
John Michael Phillips.
Wow.
What was his name, Alex? You know.
No, I don't.
Man. Like he apparently is credited with creating that term because he felt after success in season 1, he was going to be like the acting Michael Jackson of entertainment.
What does that even mean?
Because he sang.
Did he sing?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
Did he?
He had an album.
Really?
Yeah.
Album. Yes.
Album singular.
Well, I'm not for sure if he had more than one.
Oh, I have to tell I know it's not Halloween time, but I have to tell a horror story for you guys.
Philip Michael Thomas, by the way.
That was, thank you. I thought it was I knew it was 3 names. So, fun story, side story here. Where I live, there's a lake. And it's called Crystal Lake. And no, Jason Voorhees does not live there. Although I want to lower a mannequin and a hockey mask into the lake if I can do it.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's a huge family of geese that live there, like probably 40, 50 of them.
Does it smell like shit over
And they-
there?
They what?
Does it smell like shit over there?
I don't go over that side. I'm but I drive by all the time. And they walk out in the street sometimes, but like they're like really smart about it. It's like one kind of leads the way and they kind of all meander across at the same time when traffic stops. So I'm driving. Now, have you ever seen the movie Final Destination?
Yeah.
Okay, so the basic idea is they set up with like this obvious like you're gonna die this way, and then they're like, I'm okay, and then like a train comes out of nowhere and hits you in the pool.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm driving down the street. On the left side of the street, there's like 7 or 8 geese starting to cross, and I slow down, but then they meander back over towards the sidewalk. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And the traffic on the other side, there's 2 cars that have slowed down to a stop. I go past. I get to my turn, which is like probably like 300 yards away, not even. And as I'm about to turn, I stop because this huge fire engine comes roaring towards me and then roaring by me. Right towards where they were crossing.
Oof.
When I went home, all I could think of like while I was shopping and running my errands was like, oh my God, this is going to be horrible. And sure enough, when I went back, there was at least 2 that were flattened beyond recognition.
Oof.
And all I could think of was like those horror movies like Final Destination. But I remember thinking like, this is like a bad comedy movie setup, you know, like Naked Gun or something. Like, oh, they're okay, you know. When the guy falls off the side of the building and then he gets run over by the marching band and the steamroller.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, it's horrible. Oh. My goal is an extra specialty match title, the Grady Ranch match title. I'm looking forward to that.
There should be a cinematic match fucking type in there. You know what I mean? Like that's a new thing.
Well, I always think, what could we do for contests that would be?
I don't know. I don't like to give anything away.
Oh no, I have one in mind. I just got to figure out how we're going to do it. Like I have a pretty good idea for an event.
Okay.
And well, two of them actually. One I actually talked about the other night with some of the guys in the locker room. And that is, you know, I've pushed for years to have a legitimate, stable contest.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean like we'd have captains, they'd draft players, and they'd form stables for this contest.
Yeah.
And you could make trades like fantasy, but like you know, but you might have someone say like, well, I want to take Michael Cook first, number one, or I'm going to take Brad Norman, number one, right? And then you'd have people like forming these stables. The thing is, you'd have a stable with a cap. So you only have so many members. So if you have like 5 guys and you want to bring somebody in, you got to jettison one of your guys and then become a free agent. So it's like, it'd be a fun way to do it. And I've always thought like, I could do this in the IWAR, just, you know, run it like that. But that is what I call a lot more work I don't need to do.
Yeah.
So
I have 1,000 ideas that I can do.
And then I have another idea that I don't want to give away just yet, but
okay.
It'll be fun, all the same, because I think it's a good event. I actually think IWAR could do it as an event, but again, it would take them to do, you know, something they don't want to do, which is more work. So that's the tough side.
That's why we should get more people involved in commissioner reports. If I had a team of 20, you know what I could do? It'd be freaking insane.
Well, as I say, we're always looking for more people to join the team. I would be happy if someone, here's a hint, if someone just wanted to run the most popular hated list for the commissioner report each month that I do in the rankings page, that I usually do at like 1 a.m. on Sunday, because I ask people for like input and everyone's like, meh.
Oh yeah, I ignore those texts.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
But no, I mean, even something simple as that. Like right now, like for instance, Larry handles most of the BRL content for the report when it comes to like the stories. You know, Aaron does most of the content for the NWL. When we did the write-ups for the draft, we split it, you know. So yeah. I did like, I think 8, he did like 12 or whatever. You know, it's a way to help lighten the load, but also too, like I'm happy to have someone who just wants to be like, you know, our expert, like, you know, helping out with this, or you know, like for instance, if someone wanted to write a simple thing of like the most popular woman of the month was this, the most popular or hated woman of the month was that, you know, slap it in there, bang, done.
Slap it,
slap it, dropping loads, you know, just whatever it takes. I just tell people all the time, you don't have to commit to a part of the team and have a huge workload. Like some guys, like Jeremy's Fahrenheit report is huge, but it's awesome, you know, and that's a big thing to take on, you know. So I just don't want people to think like, oh, I want to get involved, I'm afraid of like having too much to do.
No,
like, no, you can do small stuff.
But you know, you build it up too. It's like you start small and you build it up as we go. And that's going to be your choice. But whatever you do have to commit to.
Yep. I was just thinking to myself, like, if like their only task was to send me a list of like 9 faces and 9 heels each month and be like, here's the people that wrote promos that made me go, that guy's an asshole or that guy's a good guy, you know? Yeah. What have you. So, anyways, we're just looking for more people to join the team. So,
sure.
Speak up if you want.
Well, there is a secret going on that there's going to be a new female commissioner.
Bum.
Congratulations, Scott.
I didn't say it was me.
Under the bus.
Oh,
But again, that's something right now. For example, if someone wanted to help, with portions of the report, I like to do blank. I like to do this. I don't think I just noticed or not, but in the IWAR magazine, and same with the NWL report, I reformatted it so it's more newspaper-like. So the stories are kind of smaller, but easier to digest nuggets. And if you're saying to yourself, "What page is that?" Read the goddamn report. I got someone, and I want to cry. I'm like, does anyone read the reports? Because someone said to me when's this thing start? And I'm like,
it's already started.
Cycles ago. And the ghost of Andy Koenig is haunting me. I've told the story before. Andy used to be notorious for writing to me the third cycle into an event and being like, yeah, so can I join it? Or how's my guy doing? Dude, you got eliminated 2 cycles ago. Come on, man.
Getting off the subject for a second.
Yeah.
Would you like to know some of the old EGOT winners?
Oh, I'd love to.
We'll start with Rita Moreno.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sir John Gielgud. Audrey Hepburn. Marvin Hamlish. Mel Brooks. Whoopi Goldberg. Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh.
And just recently, John Legend.
Wow. Well, yeah, John Legend. Okay, all right.
I mean, they're all mostly music.
Yeah. That's
Which
okay.
would seem to be easier. But yeah.
Kirk Cameron never won it? I'm surprised.
No, can you believe that?
Freaking believable.
Smile again.
Him and Mark Paul Gosselaar. Jeez, come on now.
Mark Paul Gosselaar. Zach. Oh. He went on to become the Homelander.
Listen, if you guys haven't heard the podcast he does talking about that show, it's fantastic.
Which show?
Oh,
he does he does a podcast about Saved by the Bell.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
same way Zach Braff does one for Scrubs.
Yeah.
And that one's really funny.
Any questions from folks about what we're going on here?
Any questions? Anyone want to talk about AEW? No? Okay. Moving on.
AEW. I did post a picture. I think I sent it with you guys. My friend's son was at the mall in Flushing, New York, and ran into the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
And just happened to be wearing his Young Bucks shirt. He went to the show. He
Lucky.
Yeah, no, lucky. He's a huge wrestling fan, and he's a cool kid. When he posted that picture, and I'm like, oh my god, I recognized it instantly. One of the guys in the locker room was like, I just realized that's the Young Bucks. Like, yeah.
They're not podcast. What is it? The Elite deal.
Yes.
They were at Ontario Mills, which is Ontario, California. Right next to Ontario is Rancho Cucamonga.
Nice.
Their home city. So they're in there all the time. It's
cool.
Huge mall. So.
All right. Well, I think we're kind of tapped out.
Is that a wrap? Is that a wrap? We on 30-minute Broadway here.
That's a wrap.
All right, guys. So thank you for everyone who joined us on the show today. Greatly appreciated it. We got 2 weeks before we do the actual Tubecast. So it'll probably be either on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. One of those days. It's hard getting everyone together. It's hard for me not getting yelled at by my wife. Those are always difficult situations to find yourself in. So we'll be around though.
All right,
man. So for Matt Riley, for Scott Franklin, I'm Alex G. Have a good night. I actually